Hey there, from the KUOW newsroom, this is Seattle Now. I'm your host, Patricia Murphy, with a roundup of today's top stories. It's Tuesday, July 14th. Democrats and their allies are fundraising to defend what they call the Millionaire's tax, a massive change in tax policy that passed the state legislature earlier this year. A conservative effort to repeal the tax would put the choice to voters in November.
It's a choice between investing in our kids' education and childcare access and affordability, or going backwards with cuts to education and limiting access to childcare. In short, it's a choice between the future and the past.
Governor Bob Ferguson spoke at the kickoff event for the campaign to keep the tax. He touted that its revenue would in turn give tax breaks to small businesses. The income tax only affects people who make more than $1 million. Every dollar over that gets taxed at almost 10%. Opponents contend it would cause wealthy individuals to move to other states. The Millionaire's tax is also facing a court challenge over whether it's constitutional. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is confirming that at least one person here in Washington is sick with cyclosporiasis. That's the gastrointestinal illness that causes explosive diarrhea. KUOW reports that Public Health Seattle-King County has found 15 cases among King County residents, but only one person was exposed locally. And maybe hold off on that Crunchwrap Supreme. Fast food chain Taco Bell is being investigated as a potential source of the nationwide outbreak, according to the Washington Post. Past outbreaks have been linked to berries, bagged salad mix, pre-cut vegetables, and fresh herbs, according to Public Health. 2 Washington tribes sued the Trump administration today to save habitats for endangered species. The suit comes after the Interior Department issued a rule to block habitat protection under the Endangered Species Act. That could threaten the survival of species like salmon, orcas, and spotted owls. The Swinomish and Squaxin Island tribes filed suit this morning.
Without the habitat in place, how are we going to take care of the salmon? We got to do our part for their survival as well.
That was Swinomish Tribal Chair Steve Edwards. The Trump administration says the move will reduce permitting delays and confusion for landowners and energy producers. It remains illegal to directly harm an endangered species, but scientists say habitat loss is the #1 cause of species going extinct. Governor Bob Ferguson is proposing a new graduation requirement for all high school seniors. Noel Gasca reports students would have to complete an application for a federal or state financial aid program.
When a student completes their free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA, they become eligible for federal grants, work-study programs, and loans. According to Governor Ferguson's office, more than half of students in the state qualify for the FAFSA and the state equivalent, WASFA. And in 2024, more than $81 million in federal grant money went unclaimed by students who didn't finish the application. The proposal would need approval from the legislature. Students can also opt out of completing the FAFSA. Noel Gasca, KUOW News.
Some good news today about a female humpback whale in the Salish Sea, known as Pop-Tart. The Pacific Whale Watch Association says she's finally broken free from some fishing gear she was tangled up in for nearly a week. She was spotted earlier this month tangled up in a buoy and rope that was nearly 100 feet long. Fisheries and Oceans Canada tried to remove them from one of her flippers, but couldn't. The Pacific Whale Watch Association is thanking whale watchers and marine mammal responders for keeping an eye on her. A new community center launched today for reusing, repairing, and sharing household goods. The Reuse Commons is in Seattle's Lake City neighborhood, and it's a pilot project run by the city and a few nonprofits. Xenia Dolavova is with the Furniture Repair Bank, which reupholsters and donates furniture. She says this new hub can restore value to old stuff.
Imagine you have a lot of stuff that you don't use, you don't want anymore, and some of that is broken, and some of that is just scraps of some sort. You can bring all those materials to the space and donate to businesses.
Those small businesses take the broken stuff, repair it, and sell it for cheap or donate it.
We want to make sure that the value of all those materials is kept in circulation, is kept in our communities.
The Reuse Commons also has classes to teach repair and upcycling skills. In the future, organizers hope to build more hubs like this across Seattle. The State Department of Ecology is responding to a fuel spill in Elliott Bay after thousands of gallons of diesel leaked from a Navy ship. Crews were removing the fuel from the USS Sampson yesterday when a hose failed. Between 2,500 and 5,000 gallons of fuel leaked into an area off Harbor Island where oil containment booms had been pre-placed. Ecology officials say they're working to clean up the spill along with the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Coast Guard. And finally, the city of Seattle now has until early August to decide whether to ask the state Supreme Court to take another look at the long legal battle over the so-called missing link in the Burke-Gilman Trail through Ballard. Last week, the state appeals court ruled that a coalition of maritime construction and labor groups along Salmon Bay had standing in the case and could legally oppose the city's plan. For years, that group has challenged plans to complete the 1.4-mile stretch of the trail to make it safer for cyclists and pedestrians. The appeals court also said the city must conduct an environmental review. The Seattle Times reports SDOT did not respond to a request for comment. Next time on Seattle Now, millions of Americans take at-home genetic tests and learn they're not biologically related to a parent.
I think people really feel like who they're related to affects who they are.
Hear more Wednesday morning. Oh, and hey, before we wrap up, quick question. This week on the show, we're asking our listeners what surprised you about the World Cup in Seattle. Share your answer in the KUOW app. Just open the menu and select Talk to Us. More at KUOW.org/question. That's all for today from the KUOW newsroom in Seattle. Our producer is Vaughn Jones, and I'm Patricia Murphy. Seattle Now and KUOW are members of the NPR network. See you later.